Welcome, everybody. This is session 3 of our ongoing consortia, ALMA Network Zone Consortia webinar series. This is Yoel Kortic, Senior Librarian at Ex Libris, and we're joined with Maud Arnaud from ALMA Product Management. Just a little administrative material before we jump right in. This is our third session of the ALMA Network Zone Consortia webinar series. I'm going to send this link out in the chat to everybody, though I'm sure most of you have it, if not all, because we saw that the registrations came through the page here. So we started off, just want to see where we are in the sessions. And I will also point out that in the first session, I had stated that the future sessions are subject to change, and that's depending on how much we do and do not cover. Rather than rushing to cover everything we want to cover in each session, we can just do another session. So the future sessions are subject to change. Not to get deleted, only additions. So there may be additions. In any case, so we started out with a general introduction on the ALMA Collaborative Network and the shared catalog in the Network Zone Consortia. Then last week we had guest speaker Moshe Schechter join us, and we talked about the automated fulfillment network in a Network Zone Consortia. Excuse me, that was 2 weeks ago. Last week we took a break for a holiday, and today, June 18th, we're on how to manage electronic resources in a Network Zone Consortia using inventory network groups. We'll talk about why that's such a long title in a moment. Next week, again, we're going to be joined by our guest speaker, Moshe, and we'll be talking about using a shared user file in a Network Zone Consortia. Then we're going to be going to ALMA Analytics for Network Zone Consortia. That one may be separated into 2 sessions depending on what we cover. 1 hour is never a lot, never too much. Then we're going to move to something new, something being developed right now, the Consortia Central Configuration Dashboard for distributing shared configuration across members. Again, we'll have a guest speaker, Erez Shabu. And then we'll talk about restricting how to control which institutions can and cannot edit bibliographic fields and which fields. Controlling where the records are saved by default, combining the search in the repository inside ALMA, and using local extensions. So we've still got a lot to do here, but we're all set for the next couple of weeks. And let's jump right in. So before I even start showing the PowerPoint, and before I even start showing ALMA, a general statement about what this is all about. When we have a Network Zone Consortia, we have, as we saw in previous sessions, a network zone like we see on the screen on top. Then we have member institutions. For the handling of electronic resources, there are 2 options. One is that the electronic resources are managed in the network zone, up here on top. And then the other option is that the electronic resources are handled per institution, depending on which institution has purchased and or has access to that electronic resource. For example, if I'm purchasing or if I acquiring somehow an electronic collection from Wiley Online, that can be handled in the network zone by the staff of the network zone and then made available for using an inventory network group, made available for each institution for whom it is available for. The institutions can create a purchase order line using the record from the network zone. And then the advantage of that is the electronic collection is handled once by the network zone. When I say handled, I mean new portfolios which get added to the collection are handled via the network zone. For example, if It needs to be deleted at some time. It's deleted once in the network zone. And also important, there is one bibliographic record for the entire network zone. If it's handled within each member institution, then it's multiplied. So if, for example, an electronic collection from Wiley Online Library, and I'm just using that as any example, has 1,000 portfolios and 7 institutions have activated it, if those 7 institutions are doing this within their member and it is not being handled via the network zone, then that's 7,000 bibliographic records. Whereas if it's being handled in the network zone, it's only 1,000 bibliographic records. And there are electronic collections much larger than 1,000 portfolios, as we know. And there's also electronic collections being handled by much more than 7 member institutions. So multiply that as needed. It saves a lot of maintenance when they're handled in the network zone. It also reduces the total amount of bibliographic records which the institution has. So that's in general what we're talking about here. We're going to get into the specifics now, but that's on a very high level why we would handle electronic resources in the network zone using inventory network groups. Okay, now we'll get into the more specifics here. So as we stated in our previous sessions, we're using the same environment here where we have one network zone. There's always one network zone when we're talking about a network zone consortia. So we have the one network zone, then we have 3 members. Typically, there's more than 3 members, not always, but what works for 3 members works for 3,000 members as well. So it's enough that we have 3 members. And this is just a visual graph of those 3 members. Now, the inventory network groups are groups of institutions for whom the electronic resources are available. When I say available, I mean accessible. Now, the access depends on the vendor giving you access. It might be setting up a proxy, but you're saying, at least in Alma, this is available for institution X and Y. These inventory network groups are then applied to an electronic resource. It can be on the level of the collection, and then it's inherited by every portfolio, or it can be on the level of each separate portfolio. And as it states here in the last bullet, often this is referred to as distributed access to electronic resources from the network zone, where the network zone says, I am giving access for electronic collection, Wiley Online Library, studies in chemistry, if there is something like that, to member institutions X, Y, and Z. That is distributing access to the electronic resources. Each inventory network group, we're going to get in there in a moment. I just want to get everything clear. Each inventory network group can include all of the institutions or just very specific ones. And then it's also possible to give one or more inventory network groups to each electronic resource. So let's go in and see. So we're going to define those in the network zone. And they'll be defined at, as we see here in the last bullet, configuration menu, resources, general inventory network groups. So let's go into the network zone. Here is my network zone. So we'll pop into configuration. I'm clicking configuration on the bottom left. Resources, general inventory network groups. And as I often point out, when there are a lot of menu options, you can always go up here where it says search and manage, and I can just type network G, and I get everything with network G, and I'm in there. Okay, so I happen to have one called University of Knowledge, which includes University of Knowledge, another one called Alma University and University of Knowledge, which includes Alma University and University of Knowledge, another one called Alma University, Open University, et cetera, et cetera. So if I wanted to create a new one of these, I could say add group, call the group whatever I want. I already have all options, but I'll make one and delete it. I'll call it Open U and U of K, University of Knowledge. And then I'll give it a description. Open U and University of Knowledge. I'm going to add and close now. Now it's been created. Here it is, created today. Now, however, I need to say that was just a name. Now I need to really give it the actual member institutions to whom this is relevant. And we will edit. And then here I can add an institution. So I would add, for example, in this case, if it's for Open University and University of Knowledge, I would add Open University. And I would add University of Knowledge. And now I've got those two in there, save. So I've now created a new one called OpenU and University of Knowledge. But I'm going to delete that now just to keep everything clean, and we're going to use ones that already exist. But that's how we create a new one. So let's get rid of that one. Delete. That's the creation of the inventory network groups. That's the first step. Without having inventory network groups, there's no way someone can use this whole functionality which we're showing. Let's now pop back to the PowerPoint and just see that we covered everything there. We went into inventory network groups. We saw that each one can contain one or more institutions, and we created one. Now, the next step is to attribute one of these groups to a resource. And that resource can be an electronic collection or an electronic portfolio. I'm just going to stop for one moment and take a look at the chat just to see if anything came in. I don't see anything in the chat, so we will move on. And let's just do a very quick sound check. Everybody hears me all right out there? I see more people have joined since we started. Everybody sees me okay? I mean, everybody hears me okay? Just someone send in a chat and say, yes, we hear you. And then we'll go on. Okay, people hear me. So now that we have the inventory network groups, we want to use those. So we need to put those into a electronic resource or multiple electronic resource. And that will mean, for example, that it will be published. It's kind of a older term, but it will appear as part of the resources for that Primo's view. We'll see what we mean in a minute. So for example, let's look at some examples and then we'll apply it to a new one. So if we look at this electronic collection, British and Irish women's letters and diaries, this has already been done, already has a network group attributed to it. So I'm in the network zone because that's where we're applying it, because it's for the members. And we see here in the available for that we have, it's available for Alma University. So it's using that group. We saw all the groups a moment ago. It's using that group called Alma University. If now, I'm going to be popping around a lot here in different tabs and windows, so excuse me. So this British Women's Libraries and Diaries, this is an electronic collection. It's available for Alma University, and I'm going into the portfolio list. just so we can get an examples here. So our first one here, letters on the female mind, its powers and pursuits addressed to that. Okay, so that's enough for our purposes. If I were to now come into the Primo of Alma University and do a search for this, I will find it. And not only will I find it, I mean, I could find it because I've got it in some other collection. I will find it as part of this collection, the British and Irish Women's Letters and Diaries, second edition. So someone comes along here and searches for that in Alma University, and they will find it. On the other hand, okay, so here it is. We've actually got two of them for some reason, but we'll save that for another day. So I'm finding it in Alma University. Oh, that's because it looks like I've got, okay, we'll save that Y for another day. In any case, I've got it now in Alma University. It's just asking me to log in here. So on the other hand, if we were to look at another institution for whom it is not available, for example, let's go take a look at the Primo of University of Knowledge. And we come and do a search there. We'll just let that load. So someone comes here, it's not available for them. It's in the network zone. They're part of the network zone, this institution, and they don't have it because it's not available for them. The whole publishing process, which makes resources available per institution, put it there. Does not put it in an institution for whom it is not available. Okay, let's just see one. Let's actually go to the next example. Let's actually take a look at this one. Letters on the Mountains. The first real correspondence of a lady. Okay, so this one, unless it's in a different collection, also should not be in the University of Knowledge. And as we see, it's not. However, if someone were to search for this in Alma University, for whom it is available, and come along and search Alma University, they will find it. There it is. There happens to be 3 of them. Could be that we have it for multiple collections. Oh no, that's volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. A 3-volume series. Okay. And then again, we're just triggered to log in here because I don't have an account, etc. Or maybe if I logged in first. But in any case, so we see the results of why it's useful to have this available for. Let's see another example. Again, an electronic collection, Women in Social Movements, Development of the Global South, etc., etc. And this one's also in the network. This one is available for all 3 institutions. So let's take a look here. This one, again, we're in the network zone. We're searching by electronic collection name. We see the available for here, all member institutions. We called that all member institutions, and it includes all institutions. It's not enough just to call it that. Let's go take a look once again at the inventory network groups. So that one says all member institutions. That's this one here. If we look at that all member institutions, we see it has all 3 institutions. So let's take one example from there, which would be back. And let's take, oh, there's only 2 portfolios in here. We'll take A Miracle Day, a film by Deborah Harse. So this should be in all of them. So if we go, for example, to Primo here for, let's try University of Knowledge and search for this, we will find it. And that's because it's available for all three institutions. University of Knowledge is one of those institutions. Let's take a look at one more example. Let's just let this load a moment. Then we'll take, there it is. Let's look at one more example, this time on the level of the portfolio. I also want to show here, although we'll see this more in depth when we add one ourselves, it's in the collection on the level of the group settings. Some institutions have put it also in the services, on the service level, instead of on the collection. You can put it in either place. You could put it here on the level of the service. It'll work in both places. Most of the documentation shows it on the level of the electronic collection and not the service. The vast majority of institutions, I did a check across all of the environments, vast majority are doing it on the level of the electronic collection. Some have chosen to do it on the electronic service. Works in both places. Okay, so now we want to look at an example on the level of a portfolio. For example, we have one here called Feminist Phenomenology. Phenomenology. So if we look here, we'll go by portfolio. Here by portfolio. And we'll see here it's available for Feminist Phenomenology. Available Alma University and Open University. Very interesting, because here I am University of Knowledge, which unless I have it from a different collection, I should not get it here. And I don't. These are others. This is Ann Medicine, this is Time In, this is Heidegger, etc. However, if I were to get this in Alma University or Open University, I will find it because it is available for them. Let's just do an example here. Then we're going to check the chat. Then we're going to add our own. So now I'm going to look here, Feminist Phenomenology in Open University. And sure enough, there she is, first one. Okay, so we see now the usefulness of the inventory network groups. We see that it controls, or at least can control, which institutions can and cannot, or will and will not see this in their Primo. We're going to see some more about it, but that's just the general basics now of the ultimate effect of this on the end user. Okay, I see a chat came in. Let's go take a look. And let's see what we got here. Is there any difference of having each member institution listed separately or in a group for an electronic collection? No, there is not. And let me show that, and then showing that will explain it to the rest of the crowd, what that question means. And the other way would be to confirm, and the other purpose is to confirm that I understand your question correctly. So if you notice, sometimes it says all member institutions. We could also, instead of making something available for all member institutions, we could separately give 3 members separately. Let's see what we mean. And let's combine that with how we add an inventory network group. So right now we're going to do adding an inventory network group to an electronic resource. While we're at it, we're going to answer that question. If it matters, if we give it something called all, which contains all, or we give it separate ones together. So let's go look one more time at our inventory network groups before we start adding them. So I have, for example, one called Alma University and University of Knowledge, which contains Alma University and University of Knowledge. Then we also have University of Knowledge alone and Alma University alone. So the Alma University alone has only Alma University, and the University of Knowledge alone has only University of Knowledge. Let's now go take a resource, and then we're going to add this Alma University and University of Knowledge. So let's get a resource. I'm going to come along here. I'm going to come into electronic collections, and let's do an electronic collection name for Asia. Okay. So let's say Digital South Asia Library. Nice example here. 34 portfolios. I want to make this available now for, I want to make this, let me repeat that. I want to make this available, because the available now, that has different connotations. I want to make this available for Alma University and University of Knowledge. So I'm going to edit the collection. First of all, it's not even active. It is activated. So I'm going to say edit collection, go to the group settings, and now to the person who asked the question. I can do either of the following two activities to make this available for Alma University and University of Knowledge. I could say add settings for group, make it available for University of Knowledge, save, and then I could say add settings for group and make it available for Alma University and save. Now it will be available for Alma University and University of Knowledge. The other option, instead of doing that, let me repeat the person's question because I want to make sure I'm answering it. Is there any difference of having each member institution listed separately or in a group? Okay. I could do what I just did now. We'll call that method A. Or I'll get rid of these and do method B, where I add a setting that already has those two institutions, Alma University and University of Knowledge, save, and now now this is available for Alma University and University of Knowledge. So the Digital South Asia Library right now, I will just write this down. We still say write it down, even though we're not even writing anything down right now. We're typing it down. So the Digital Asia Library, I believe that's what it's called. It was a Digital South Asia. Digital South Asia Library. Just so if we play with this later, we'll see what happens. This is available for Alma University and University of Knowledge institutions. Okay. Does that answer your question, person who asked it? Back to the chat. Okay, Maud, you can moderate that if okay, the person answered and said, yes, thank you. Okay. Next. So we saw now, let's summarize for a moment what we did. We saw examples of what happens when an inventory network group is set for an electronic resource, and we saw that it will and will not appear in Primo or in Discovery, to be more exact, depending on for whom it is available. We saw how to create the inventory network groups in the first place, and then we saw how we can attribute them to an electronic resource. We did it on the level of the electronic collection. If we had wanted to do one on the level of an electronic resource, an electronic portfolio, we could come to the electronic portfolio, search for an electronic portfolio, And after we get the results, click Edit Portfolio, and again, go to the group settings. So I could, on the level of this portfolio, this one, say Edit Portfolio, and go to the group settings, and give here whichever one I'd like. Now, by the way, I'm surprised no one asked yet, what happens if I have it on the level of the electronic collection and then I go and do it on the level of the portfolio? For example, this is an eBook Central perpetual DDA. The portfolio inherits it from the collection. So this is a portfolio. This is not a collection. This is a portfolio. It's part of eBook Central perpetual DDA subscription titles. When I come to the available for, I see it's all member institutions. If I come here and I go to the group settings, there's a lot of inheritance all throughout Alma. We see it also in the electronic resources and the available for example. I'm also going to show in a second or in 2 seconds or 3 seconds, the fact that the group settings get inherited in the service if they're defined on the level of the electronic collection. So this is interesting, taking a long time to open. Let's move on meanwhile, but then we will go in there. Okay, so we saw all this. I'm not going to go through these slides again. These slides are what we did. There's 4 examples here. We showed 3 examples. This is important to point out, actually. We can also do these via a job. Oh, here we go. So this, you've got the group settings here, and you can see it's been inherited from the collection. Also, if we had gone to within the electronic collection, if we had gone to the service, I'm going to go into this electronic collection. Actually, I can go into the Asia one that we looked at a moment ago, the one we already used. So here, this one, we defined this on the level of the collection. This is the electronic collection editor. This is where we defined it. I stated at the beginning that it's also possible to define it here on the level of the service. I'm on the additional tab in the services. And here we could also put it in. However, it's already going to tell us that it is inherited from the collection. Now, those changes can also be done via the job. Let's say admin run a job. There's a job here called update electronic inventory. Let's even go to information update. And we have change electronic portfolio information, change electronic collection information. And within these, we can take an entire set. We're not going to do it now. We're just going to show that it is a possibility. We can take an entire set and attribute an available for collection to the set. So for example, I'll just choose any set that I made in the past. And all of these are the different parts. So within here, we will have, this is public name, description, collection. One of these will be the group, there we are, group settings. So here we can say we want, for example, to remove a specific one or add a specific one. These are the ones we have defined that we saw a moment ago. Same here. So we can remove, for example, all of them. We can remove specific ones, or we can add specific ones. Okay. So these are the examples which we already showed. We're not going to show these more. We also have in the PowerPoint here examples for viewing those in Primo. We also saw in Primo how that works. So we're not going to do that. Now, within the repository search in Alma, it's possible to retrieve all of the resources for whom or which are available for a specific group. And I don't want to use the word complicated, but because there's so many options, it needs an explanation. Let's put it that way. Originally, there was one option, and then people said, well, what if I want only this? What if I want only this? What if I want this and not this? So we added the different ones. Now, the main differences are the explicitly and group. Let's go into the electronic collection search. I'm going to go into my institution now. I'm at University of Knowledge. And let's go into the advanced search, and let's make this larger so everyone can see. So if I come in and I say I want to search electronic collections, and I say available, okay, so you can see here we have available for, electronic collection available for, electronic collection available explicitly for, and collection available for group. And everything is explained in depth here. By the way, what I may have not pointed out is on this page of the webinar series, you have access to this PowerPoint right here, which goes very in depth. I think this is over 100 slides, so I'm not going to show all 100, but for your personal perusal, you can read it on your own. So let's talk about when we use explicitly and when we don't use explicitly. And that relates to another topic going backwards. When we're in the network zone and we have electronic collections, let's do another search here, Asia. If an electronic collection is active, let me activate this one just for the fun, as we say around here. So I'm going to create an e-activation task list. This is Westlaw Asia. Then I'm going to say resources, manage electronic resource activation. Then I'll go to Westlaw Asia. I'll activate, although it may tell me do this, do that, but that's fine. Okay, yes, I do want to continue. And that will go into the assigned to me. I'm not going to give it an inventory network group on purpose. And that's going to mean that it's available for all groups. Okay, do I want to edit it? No, thank you for the offer, but I don't want to edit. And I am done with this. Done. Wonderful. As an unsuppressed bibliographic record without a collection URL. Whoa. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a collection URL just so we can get rid of that. Westlaw Asia. I'm just going to get any URL to give it. There we go. Okay. So we'll say now, edit collection. And collection level URL. There we go. Save. That's just so we can say done. Okay. So this Westlaw Asia is available for all institutions, but not explicitly for. Explicitly for means that it has the name of my institution in there. So for example, if I say in University of Knowledge, it might take a minute or two to index there, but let's see. Let's start with electronic collection name. Contains phrase Westlaw Asia. Now, if I say, and I'm in University of Knowledge, Westlaw Asia. Oops, that's because of my search scope here. We have this down on our schedule to talk about the search scope. There's so much to talk about, but you'll see how to combine institution and network zone search results in the member institutions. So we've got that in our schedule. I'm going to combine here. So now it's searching what's in the institution and in the network. And we'll see Westlaw Asia. Wonderful. And it says it's Ex Libris University Consortium, because that's where it's from. Now I'm going to change that search a tad. Back to the advanced search. Now I'm going to say available for electronic collection available for University of Knowledge. I again find it because it is available for me, but it's available for University of Knowledge because it doesn't have any inventory network groups. And when there are no inventory network groups, that means it's available for everybody. However, if I change this, then instead of saying available for, I'm going to say available explicitly for University of Knowledge. Now I don't get it. So available for will get ones which are assigned to me, which do have an inventory network group, which I have, and ones which have nothing. Explicitly for will get only ones where the University of Knowledge is listed here. I'm going to get rid of the title. Now I'm saying electronic collection available explicitly for University of Knowledge. This would bring collection available for University of Knowledge. Let's make it even a different one. Alma University. Or all electronic collection. Let me go into Alma University. I'm going to go into a different member, or let's even come back here for a moment. So the explicitly for we saw, we're going to see another example. When we had available for University of Knowledge, we got one that had no inventory network groups. When we did explicitly for, we didn't get it because explicitly for, let's say again, explicitly for, it has to be in there. Explicitly for, let's again put, let's go here. Okay, it's like we just said, the ones which have explicitly for, the group has been assigned to the electronic resources. And that's the example we saw. The ones which end with for group has the name of the inventory network group, not the institution inside it, the name of the group. So one is searching by the institution, one is searching by the name of the group. And we saw all of these options. I opened it up and we saw what we had there. This is the names of the groups. When we're here and we say available for group, let me go into Alma University because I've got more examples there. And here. So it's the name of the group. So I'm only going to see the groups that have been defined. By the way, there's a whole nother topic for some other day that you can divide your own institution into inventory network groups. For example, by campus or library, but we're talking about on the level of the network. So when we look here for electronic collections and we say available for group, we see the names of the groups. Names of the groups. When we're not using group, when we're saying just available for, electronic collection available for, we're seeing the names of the institutions. Okay. Institutions. Let's go on. Because we want to get another example here. So, okay, we got a nice example here. In the network zone, we have an electronic collection with Springer Link books. I'm focusing a lot on this because this was developed, all of this, I don't want to say complicated, involved methodology was according to requests from the user community. So let's go look for a moment in the network zone. I'm in the network zone. If I say electronic collection contains keywords Springer Link books. So I'm going to have at least 3 electronic collections. Okay, 3 electronic collections. This one is available for Alma University and University of Knowledge. This one is available for no inventory network groups, which means everybody, and also means, as we saw, it will not get retrieved when we do explicitly for. And then we have this one here available for 2 separate groups, Open University and University of Knowledge. So we have good examples here to show how the behavior works. So if I say now, electronic collection available for group, Alma University, University of Knowledge, and University of Alma University and University of Knowledge only. So I'm going to add to here available for group, Alma University and University of Knowledge. I got this one here, which is Alma University and University of Knowledge. I got this one because it's available for everybody, and I didn't use the explicitly for. So I am not getting now, I'm going to go back to my slide here. I am not getting this one here because this one's for Open University and University of Knowledge. Okay. In fact, let's even, so we don't have to keep sliding back and forth, these are our examples right here. Let's see another one. And then we'll do 2 more and then we'll stop there. Now I'm going to say explicitly for Alma University and University of Knowledge. So we're going to change this same search where we have this one which has the available for with nothing. And instead of available for group here, I'm going to say electronic, let's just start writing explicitly. Electronic collection explicitly available for group, Alma University, University of Knowledge. And now I get only this one because that explicitly has that group. The one which has no inventory network groups will not be retrieved because it doesn't have the group. And we said explicitly for, it has to be included there. Let's stop there for a moment because we've got 9 minutes, and let's talk about the inventory network groups in analytics. But let me see if there's any questions or comments in the chat. No questions or comments in the chat. Okay, great. Thanks. And everybody's still with me? I'm assuming everybody still hears me. Kevin, Shentang, Susan, Maud, Anchi, you all still hear me? Okay, people hear me. Great. All right. So let's start with this from the member institution. So within a member institution, there's a setting. If we come to configuration, analytics, member settings. This is member settings because I'm a member institution in a network zone consortia. If I want to be able to see in my institution the information about the inventory network groups and the available for, I need to set as true this parameter here called analytics network inventory available for my institution. If this is set to true, then I will see data from the network zone, data regarding the inventory network groups. So even though the collection is not cataloged or not present in my institution, in my member, because it's coming from the network zone, even though that's the case, I can retrieve it in my analytics, as long as this is true. Also, the network zone needs to approve this. So now I just switch to the network zone. And in the network zone, if we come to analytics, now we have analytics network settings. When we were in the member institution, we had analytics member settings. When we're in the network zone, we have analytics network settings. And inside here, I need to say, I approve, I being the network, approve that the members will see the data from the network. So both sides need to agree. So here it's defined as true, analytics network inventory available for members. So that's already set. I don't need to save. It also needs to be save and distribute here, by the way, because then it goes to the members. So that's defined here. Let's just take a look at that for a moment. So here we said, define in the member inventory available for members. Excuse me, define in the network that it's available for members. Here we do that. And in the member institution, define available for my institution is true. So when we're in the member now, I'm in the member, Alma University, and we'll go into analytics. So we'll say analytics, access analytics. And if I create now an analysis in the e-inventory subject area, let's pop into the e-inventory subject area. So we have a section here called Portfolio Details for Consortia Members. This folder and relevant subfolders are used when the institution wants to get data from the network zone in their own analytics. So for example here, if I look at the tooltip, it states it's only relevant for consortia members who have defined, and there's that parameter which we saw a moment ago. And then it also states that when designing a report to see data from the network zone, use only fields from this folder. So if I want to see now data from the network zone, which is available for my institution, I've got a couple of options here. So for example, under portfolio, I have something here, which groups it's available for, which group submit, what are the group members, and if it's available for my institution. So let's say I want available for group. I'm just going to make it null so that I'm not getting everything. So I'll say filter is not null. And let's get Just a little more data there. We'll get the name of a portfolio or the name of something. Let's get the name of a collection. Electronic collection public name. And I will also get rid of those which were deleted. So I will say life cycle filter is equal to is in repository. So right now I have, oh, it's 8:56 already. I have electronic collections which are available, which have a available for group, and they're not deleted, which means they still exist in Alma. I did not filter by available for my institution so that we can see examples. So the first one, this is a nice one, ABI Inform is not available for my institution. Alma University, Open University. This one's available for Alma University and Open University, so it says yes. And if I go look at this, let's get only the ones available for my institution. I could say here, yes. I could also say the available for group members. This is the code, I believe. So I could put my code in there. I could put my name in there. Available for group. Okay. I could say the available for group is either all members or Alma University, because this is all members. This is Alma University. Or I could say the available for group members contains any EXL Dev1 inst, or I could say available for my institution equals yes. And then I would get all those. But let's just take a look at this example while we're here. So ACC Elsevier, according to this, is available for Alma University and Open University. Let's see if analytics was right. So I'll go look at that in the network zone, ACC Elsevier, Alma University and Open University. So it was correct. Then we can also do a search like that in the network zone. However, in the network zone, we don't need to use that special folder because I'm not looking somewhere else. I'm not doing a search, bringing data from the network zone while I'm in the member. I already am the network. So I can do this one in, let's call them the standard fields. Let's say create analysis and e-inventory subject area. And now let's say available for, there's nothing available for my institution, for example, would be irrelevant here. I'm the network zone. Available for. Okay, so now we've got available for group. Here I've got available for group. That's the one from the portfolio details for consortia, which we're not using now. So let's say we'll take this one here, available for group, available for group members. Let's get the electronic collection public name. And let's say, again, is not null. And let's say the electronic collection life cycle is filter in repository. Okay. So now we'll get all of the electronic collections in the network zone which have a available for group. And of course I could filter it however I would like. So let's take this. Addis Online is available for group Alma University. So if we were to come here and search for it, we should see here available for Alma University. Okay. Any final questions or comments? That brings us to 9 o'clock local time. Let me go check the chat one more time. I don't see any questions. If anyone has any final question, go ahead and ask. And we'll see you in the next sessions. Everybody's got a link to that page. And let me just send that out in case I already didn't. Those of you watching via YouTube, you'll have a link to here in the description of the video. And that's been sent out. Okay, and we'll be posting a recording of this and sending out a message that it's been posted with all different ways to get there. Safest way always via the Ex Libris YouTube channel. Have a nice day, everybody, and thanks for joining. Bye-bye.